Hey, it's Michael, and this is the Kintsugi Podcast. I'll be back in a minute with this week's conversation about resilience. But first, if you wish to create a better life and have a better career, then please visit michaelobrienshift.com and download your free workbook on how to create a better life. In it, you'll discover ways to find more energy for the things and the people who matter most to you, so you can create a better tomorrow. Hey there, it's Michael, and welcome back, or welcome to the Kintsugi Podcast. It's time for another conversation about resilience. And today, as we start the second half of 2021, I'll share a few things with you. The 20 Ripple Challenge that we're doing and the impact it's making, my total knee replacement that's only a few days away, and some questions to consider now that we've reached the halfway mark of 2021. So some of you, if you've been listening or follow along on my blog, you can sign up for my blog on my website, which is michaelobrienshift.com. We're doing this thing called the 20 Ripple Challenge. Now, if you've been listening since the beginning of the year, you know that I'm coming up to my 20th anniversary of my last bad day, which is not positive toxicity. It's really about the day I got hit head on by a Ford Explorer when I was out riding my bike out in New Mexico. If you happen to watch The Bachelor, that series, the current Bachelorette series, is being filmed at the same resort where I got hit at. That was a little bit of a odd thing, probably even odder. Why am I even watching the show? Well, it's part of the mind candy for my girls. But I digress. So this July 11th will be 20 years, and I was planning on doing this amazing cross-country ride with my wife. We're going to get an RV, put our two dogs, Jester and Hope, in the back, and we're going to travel across the country. It was going to be one ripple of awesome sauce. Gratitude, kindness, resilience, a little mindfulness put in for good measure, because we need to be more mindful as we build out our new normal, our better normal for all of us. At least that's my hope. But my left knee didn't want to make the trip. It was going to be 45 days, 4,300 miles, about 6 hours a day, about 100 miles a day. My left knee was saying, no way. When I had my initial trauma, they had predicted that both knees would be replaced 5 years after the trauma. So that would have been sometime in 2006. My right knee is doing great. My left one, well, we made it 20 years. I 4X'd everyone's prediction. That's pretty good. Heck, I survived the accident. The doctors don't know how I survived, let alone how I'm thriving today, how I'm riding the way I'm riding. But the left knee, I'm in pain. It's super stiff. It needs to be replaced. So we're going to replace it on July 12th. More on that to come. So obviously you could get bummed out by canceling such an endeavor, because we had the RV rented, we had the route planned out, we were making different things to publicize it, getting ready to share the whole experience with you. As I record this, we were supposed to be in Paint Lick, Kentucky on July 4th. But we decided to pause the Pause, Breathe, Reflect tour. That's what I was calling it, because I think we all could use a moment to pause, breathe, reflect. I think we're spinning too fast on our hamster wheels. We're not awake to this wonderful gift that we have called life. So how can we possibly step into our potential if we're just too busy with our nose to the grindstone, doing the hustle and grind? The hustle and grind culture has to step off. We got to find a better way. And I think going slow and going fully into our moments is that better way. Slow, I think, is the fastest way to go faster. And we can do that together. So instead of doing the ride, I was like, okay, well, how do we call an audible? And we decided to put together the 20 Ripple Challenge. It started on June 21st. It runs through July 11th. And it's been this unbelievable experience so far. I thought it would be a neat challenge, but I don't think anyone really says the word neat too much anymore. But I thought it would be meaningful. The challenge worked this way. Start the morning with a glass of water, celery juice if you prefer that. Get your hydration on, because our bodies need hydration in order to work properly. to work up to our potential. Then it was to reach out to someone in your life, in your Peloton, if you will, your tribe, and offer them gratitude. Share with them why you're grateful that they're in your life. Next, do one random act of kindness each day. Then going back to self-care, spend 5 minutes with us on Clubhouse, do a 5-minute pause, breathe, reflect meditation. Move your body for 20 minutes each day. It could be chair yoga to a HIIT workout to getting your Peloton on. You name it, whatever it is, it could just be a 20-minute walk. And then at the end of the day, catalog your wins. So it was 1 part gratitude, 1 part kindness, 1 part self-care, 3 parts of awesome that we need right now. And the stories I'm getting back have blown me away. Again, I thought it was going to be a really cool challenge, a nice alternative to the ride, but it's changing people's lives because it's changing their relationship with their lives. Now, if you happen to be listening to this prior to July 11th, you can still join. 1 day of rippling anything of goodness, of gratitude, of kindness is, hey, 1 more than 0. 1 is always greater than 0. So I hope you'll join. I'll put how to join in the show notes. So we have that going on as we start off the second half of 2021. And we'll come up to July 11th. We're going to come together on a Zoom to share our experience, to celebrate life. It'll be in part a celebration of the 20th anniversary of my last bad day. And I use gratitude and kindness and rippling something worth rippling as a way out of my funk because the doctors painted this pretty grim picture of my future. They predicted I probably would walk with trouble, probably not get back on the bike again. And I'm riding. Now with this knee replacement, I'll hopefully be riding even better. But what we ripple matters. That's how we change lives. That's how we change our lives. Starts with ourselves, as you know. If you've been listening long enough, you know all of this starts at home with emotional labor, with inner work. That's how we build our resilience. And then we build resilience by sending a beautiful ripple out there into the world. We build our community. We build our tribe. We build our Peloton. So on July 11th, we're going to come together and we're going to celebrate life. We're going to celebrate this challenge, and I hope you'll join. The very next day, I get my knee replaced. I'm a mixture of emotions, to be honest. I'm mainly eager and excited, but I'm nervous and I have some anxiety. I've gone through a whole battery of tests, all the pre-op stuff. Everything is going smoothly, no hiccups to date, none that I know of at least. So I'm eager. I know this new knee has the potential to help my knee function better because my functionality has always been somewhat limited. I actually may be able to ride a little bit better, maybe with a little bit more ease, because right now my knee, or actually over the last several years, my knee can bend just enough, maybe 1 degree more of flexion that will give me a chance to ride my bike, which it has, but it hasn't extended fully, which causes a little bit of a leg length difference. I have a leg length difference because of the trauma, but also because my lack of extension. I can't straighten the leg fully. I certainly can't bend it anywhere past, say, 97 degrees, maybe 100 on a good day. So I'm really excited about what's possible. Of course, with any surgery, there's risk or the chance for risk, like getting a blood clot or an infection. We're going to do all we can to make sure that we can prevent those from happening. But there is a little bit of this unknown, a lack of control. You have to ease up on your grip when you go into surgery. So I've been, over the last 6 weeks, also been documenting this journey on YouTube. The last 6 weeks, I've been getting into my yoga to open up my flexibility, open up my hips. I'm trying to be the best patient possible so my surgeon can work with, my knee in the best position so the success of the surgery can be as great as it can be. And then I got to get my post-op rehab on. I'll document that too. So if you don't follow me on YouTube, you can subscribe to the channel and follow the journey pre-op and then post-op or prehab or, after the surgery is over, however you wish to say it. So on the 12th, I could use all the positive healing, good vibe energy pointed toward the hospital for special surgery in New York. I believe I'm at the best hospital possible. I have the best surgeon possible. And we are going to get another scar. We're going to add to my Kintsugi spirit and my Kintsugi beauty. Another scar right up the middle of my leg, of my left leg. And what I hope is that I can be an inspiration for other people that have to go down a similar journey. Because we all face things in life. We all have curveballs and hiccups and all that. The real key to life is how we respond to those. Life is bound to happen. If we play in traffic, as I like to say, things will happen. It might be hard to understand why they're happening. At first, I didn't understand why my accident happened. I thought it happened to me, not for me. And I had moments where I made great progress and I had moments where I fell back and I felt like I was starting all over again. But along the way, I realized that all of the events in my life are neutral and they're all happening for me and I get to create the story around them. I get to decide how I wish to respond. So here on July 4th, as I record this, as we talk about freedom and independence in the United States, our greatest freedom, to pull from Viktor Frankl, is our ability to choose our attitude. So yeah, things are going to happen in life. At work, personally, professionally, with family, with friends, as a society. So the question isn't like why things happen. They're bound to happen. The biggest question is, how do I wish to respond to what happens to me? Or do I wish just to react? Going back, our greatest freedom is our ability to choose our attitude, to choose which lens we look through life through. So we got this surgery coming up. So again, in advance, thank you for any healing or good juju that you can send my way. And I want to leave you with a couple different questions now that we're at halftime. In sports, when we go into halftime, we talk about what's working and what could be working better. And when you think about July, it's the start of the second half of 2021. Especially when I look at July 4th weekend for all our friends in Canada, Canada Day, and July 1st. I also look at the anniversary of my accident as another big marker, almost like a second birthday. And it gives me a chance to pause, breathe, reflect as we do on what do I want my story to look like, to sound like, to feel like as I go forward. How do I wish to be a year from now? So I want to share a couple different questions that may be helpful as you think about how do you want to finish up 2021? How do you want to finish up just July? Or if you want to stretch it out, you can. To go into July of 2022. So here are a few questions. One, something to journal. What am I most proud of and how will I continue to cultivate growth in this area of myself? Thinking about your strengths. Thinking about your great qualities. Two, where could I use a little bit more work? How can I carve out some time to dedicate to this area? So these first two questions really get to what's working and what could be working better. Notice I don't say what's not working. It's what could be working better. Here's a third question, or maybe a third question and a fourth question, or 3A or 3B. What habits do I wish to leave behind? Maybe habits that you developed during the pandemic. And what habits do you wish to create as you go forward? Any new healthier habits or more productive habits? And the fourth one can be, what's your intention for the month of July? What's your intention for the rest of the year? Or what's your intention for the next year until we get to this point next year? This point next year, I will be riding my bike across the country. We will celebrate 21 years since my last bad day. By doing the same ride, it will be even more epic because we'll be 21 years in and I'll be bionic. And we'll continue to ripple gratitude, kindness, and self-care and resilience and mindfulness and all that jazz. All the stuff that we need in order to create a better tomorrow for all of us, not just some of us. And I hope you'll join our ride. So those are my thoughts as we start the month of July, as I head into the anniversary of my last bad day. I want to thank you for listening, sharing the Kintsugi podcast with others. I hope it pops into your inbox or wherever you happen to listen to podcasts and is a bit of an inspiration for you each week to help you keep pedaling, to keep going. Remember, if you have a tough moment, you can always come back to your breath. You got this and we got you. Again, thanks for listening. Thanks for sharing and subscribing and sending that good juju my way as I head into a very big surgery. Until next week, post-surgery, I hope you have fun storming the castle. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.